Activate HomeLink. Activate HomeLink.
HomeLink has been activated.
I originally planned on doing this video while I was still in my apartment, but with my accident and my recent move, this video actually got delayed. My old apartment had a detached garage. However, there was no way to get into the garage without opening the garage door. This would entail me to go outside in front of my garage door and open it with the passcode. And since I lived on a busy street, this means that anyone really paying attention could probably figure out what I'm entering, because they could actually see me enter the passcode. Sometimes when I enter the passcode fast, it doesn't take. I'm usually out there entering the passcode multiple times. My garage at my old place isn't a smart garage. I have a garage opener, but I wanted to see if there was another way. Say if I had my hands full, would I be able to use Siri to open the garage? The answer is kind of. The option that I'm going to show you now is dependent on HomeLink. HomeLink is a built-in solution that Tesla had to open the garage. It used to be included with Tesla when you bought your vehicle until recently. Now it is considered an add-on where if you wanted it, you would need to go to the service center and get the appropriate hardware installed as well. So if you have HomeLink and you want to open the garage with Siri, we could use the Tesla API for that. The API is pretty straightforward. You need to call this API, API/1/vehicles, your vehicle ID /command/trigger HomeLink, and you'll be calling this as a post method. With this API command, you will also want to pass in the latitude and longitude in the request body. So the question becomes, what latitude and longitude do you pass in? We want this to work anytime we activate HomeLink. So our current phone location may not work. For our example, we'll use the vehicle's current location to activate HomeLink. So to make this call, we'll need to grab the access token, grab the vehicle ID, and wake up the car. If you've been following with me so far, you will know this sounds familiar. It sounds like every single command we've done before. Now we could go ahead and copy what we did before, but I think this is an excellent opportunity for us to do some refactoring. First, we're going to go ahead and grab the access token like before. But making the API call to grab the vehicle ID isn't something we need to do all the time. Let's face it, the vehicles on our account won't change that often. So let's instead just make the call and save this data. We use the same API as our get vehicle ID, so let's clone that first. Let's rename this to get all Tesla vehicles. We will remove everything before the set token. We will also remove everything between that and the URL. Let's also remove everything after get contents. Before the set variable, we'll search and select get file. We'll change our path to Tesla/access.json. For our set variable, we'll choose the file and we'll get the access token from the dictionary. If we run this now, we'll see that we get a list of all our vehicles. Let's go ahead and save this to files. You'll create a new file called vehicles.json, which will store this response. Now, if we go back to files, we'll actually see that the file was actually created successfully. Now let's go back to get vehicle ID. Let's remove everything before the set variable for name. I'm going to pass in the vehicle ID from another shortcut, which we'll create later. Since we already have the vehicle saved to our files, we can go ahead and remove the network call here and replace this with the get file using vehicles.json that we created earlier. If you remember earlier, our list of vehicles is part of our JSON response under the response key. In our repeat with each item, let's go and choose our file and the type response for our key. As we loop through all the vehicles, let's compare each display name with our vehicle name. As we loop through all our vehicles, let's compare each display name with our vehicle. If we have a match, we will save the vehicle ID and exit the shortcut. And finally, let's go ahead and create our core shortcut that we will use for every single Tesla shortcut we'll create from now onwards. I'm calling this Tesla Core. First thing, I'm going to go ahead and hard code my car's name since I only have one vehicle. If you have more than one, you will need to figure out which car you will want to use. That's a bit out of scope for this video, but if you are interested, let me know and I'll tell you how to get that. Next, I'll run get vehicle ID and pass in my car's name as the input shortcut. This shortcut, as you remember, returns the vehicle ID. So we'll go ahead and save that to a variable. Next, we'll run wake up Tesla and we'll pass in the vehicle ID. Now if you remember, this will wake up the car. So we'll need to know if the car is actually awake and online or unresponsive. Since we'll have the access token and vehicle ID on the shortcut, let's pass that back so that when we activate HomeLink, we don't have to retrieve those values again. Let's quickly enter wake up Tesla and do exactly that. Since the vehicle ID is passed into wake up Tesla, let's go ahead and save that to a variable. Next, let's get the access token from our files. Let's scroll down to where we determine the car is online. Let's go ahead and create a new dictionary and set access token, vehicle ID, and state. We will then exit the shortcut with the dictionary. Now you will see we have our state, our access token, and our vehicle ID. So let's go ahead and exit this shortcut with this dictionary. Now we're ready to create our Activate HomeLink shortcut. The reason why I call it Activate HomeLink and not Open Garage is that HomeLink does not know the current state of the garage door. If the door was closed, it will open the garage. And vice versa, if your door is open, Activate HomeLink will actually close your garage door. So let's go ahead and run our Tesla Core shortcut. From here, if it's online, you should have our access token and vehicle ID as we saw before. Let's go ahead and save those to our variable. Before we do anything, we should check and see if the vehicle is actually online. If it's not online, let's go ahead and show a text saying that we can't communicate with it. If the car is online, let's make the following API call to get the current drive state. If you look at the drive state API, you will see that we can get the current latitude and longitude of our car. This represents where our vehicle is on a grid map of the world. Once we have the latitude and longitude of our car, we can go ahead and make the API to trigger the HomeLink command. We will pass the latitude as lat and longitude as long. We can look at the result key to see if it's been successfully triggered in the response. And we can go ahead and display our messages accordingly. Suppose you want to go that extra step. You could have Siri prompt you with a confirmation. This might be helpful if you don't want it to accidentally open the garage while you're trying to say a different command. The last piece now is to have the shortcut triggered whenever it comes close to an NFC tag. Now, I bought these NFC stickers off Amazon. They're fairly cheap. We're not actually going to program the tag itself. What we're going to do is have these tags readable from your iPhone. Now, you need a device that could actually read the NFC tags in order for these automations to work. So if you go to our shortcuts and go to automation, you will want to click the plus sign on the top right to create a new automation. From here, you will click personal automation. Now you will scroll down to NFC and click scan. Now your iPhone is ready to scan the NFC. You will want to place the NFC tag behind your phone till it recognizes it. We'll go ahead and name this Garage and click Next. Now we'll go ahead and run our shortcut Activate HomeLink whenever this phone reads this NFC tag. You'll also want to disable Ask Before Running anytime you run this automation. By turning it off, the automation will actually perform this action on your behalf without asking you first. And there you have it. You're all set to open your garage with your phone using an NFC tag. you can go ahead and place the NFC sticker anywhere around your garage. So that way you can use your phone as a way to open your garage. If you enjoyed my video, please like it and subscribe to view more.